Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. We'll talk a little bit about what did today or what happened today, and then we'll finish it off. Let's make sure we're not in replay mode here. You're gonna see SPY, they opened, gap down, which means we like to go after the buy. Now, confirming and negating, we talked about strength and weakness, right? SPY, bright red, right? So they're going down. Second 15 of the day, they go inside in green, right? So who's gonna be stronger than SPY at this point? Well, anything 2-up day, of course, right, would be stronger. So if we like core weave, for example, this was on last night's vid, you'll see the 215 right here. That has to be stronger. Boom, 4% within like 5 minutes, right? This is what we can do with the strats. Beautiful stuff. Why did that happen? Because the 15 caused the rev strat day, which had a magnitude to take this out. Once it takes that out, we don't know, right? It might go completely to the other side of the broadening formation. You can see they went shooter, so maybe they triangle some guys out. We have pivot machine gun for tomorrow. And then throughout the rest of the morning, it was inside, add, to, reversal, right? And that was it. And then you'll see higher high. What do? Well, they sold it, they bought it, we can sell it. 215 get short. Rev strat 15, add to the short. Boom, lower lows. And you can see how beautiful this indicator is. We're actually implementing this into stratalerts.ai and our scanner and our algorithm as soon as we have the logic put together. But you can see how the higher high plus the signal timing that, and then the lower low here, the much bigger lower low versus here to take the profit, because new high to the morning highs, new low to the morning lows, just like we talk about. SPY did the same thing. Lower low, right? They firm up inside in green. They go green here, second 30 of the day, reversal, 2, 1, 2, reversal against. And then you'll see the broadening formation restarts, higher highs. What do? Short it. Boom. You'll see 15 reversal, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, boom, low a day, hammer, flip it long, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, reversal, get out. So beautiful, up, maybe down, right? And if you rev strat that thing, and then up, sell it short, buy it long, beautiful stuff all day. We also had some really, really good trades here. So MP, what do we talk about with threes? Well, threes are broadening formations. And this is one we've been watching since Turnaround Tuesday, right? And just because Turnaround Tuesday did not work, because it reversed on Wednesday, does not mean we're not watching the charts still, right? They still came and bought it Tuesday. In this case, what did they do? They triangled out. On the daily, what happened? Lower low to this. If we go to a 4-hour, you'll actually, maybe a 60. For some reason, this indicator doesn't work well with outside bars, but you can see lower lows to that low on the 60 goes green here. Boom, right? How do you get in on that? 215. Where did that happen? After lower lows. What do we do? Well, they bought, they sold, we buy. Notice where this occurs. The month, day, and week open. When this breaks, pivot machine gun causes the day, week, and month to go green. Full time frame continuity. Where's it going? Up there. We look up and left, we say up there. That's where it's going. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or 2, 1, 2 reversal, get out. Right? And if you tried to buy it here, you would have gotten stopped out. So be it. They took their profit. But this was a really, really good trade. And we actually have the receipts. For those of you guys that are watching this, you're like, well, this kind of looks too good to be true, Alex. Can you back up what you're talking about here? And we can't. So we had a lot of different things we talked about today, but MP, we're going to see right here. So we did not alert it on the 15, but you'll see on the 30s. We talked about a lot of setups, and there's a lot of trades to be had. When you have a strategy that works, you want to take a lot of trades, because if you miss the first 2, you can take the next 5 and you're still going to do good on the day. In this case, though, it was 3-2-30. So with 3 2s, it's an expansion. How do we play expansions? Well, when you have a 3 that opens below a previous range and then closes above, like this one, you see it opens below, closes above, it's engulfing. What does that mean? It means it's resolving in a direction. You must pair this with broadening formations and time frame continuity, just like that's done here, as well as going back through the previous pivots, right? That's what we like to see. But when this breaks, we can have the expectation it will break and go instantly with no drawdown. Because if we're correct and there's aggressive buying and it's resolving higher, that buyer is going to show up, buy it, and it should never come back. Your stop can be the spread plus a penny, which might be 20 cents. And you're going to see just how well this works. We have not yet implemented that type of logic into the scanner or the algo, but we do plan on doing that in the future, which is going to be so cool, because this could be able to take like thousands of trades every day And like the account gains that we could get just will be absurd. It's not going to even seem realistic. But as far as then, how do you get in later, right? If you miss that, well, lower lows, right? 1, 2, 3, 2, reversal, off they go. And if we go to like a 2 minute or something, you'll see this. Makes it easier to see. Lower low, reversal, boom, you're in. And then 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then high a day, you can see profit taking. And that was high a day. Pretty cool stuff here. NVIDIA is another example. So when SPY was 2 down, 1 on the 15, NVIDIA made actually equal lows. So when 2 reversal, notice we go to SPY. SPY was inside, right? Qs is inside. The semis were 2 down in green. The technologies, tech were inside. So was NVIDIA stronger than everything else in the whole market? It was. Did it have a period of full time frame continuity? It was above the month weekday opens when this occurred. So yes, it did. Where is it going to go? Outside day, right? 2 down goes green. It's going outside. You can see how this all lines up, right? And if you're not the first guy in, that's fine. How do we time the signals? Well, you're going to see they bought, then they sold, and then we buy, boom. All these bars go outside of all these bars on the left. There's your broadening formation. And then a cool thing we like to do is you can also country western, which means you buy it in here, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, reversal, flip it short after the top of the broadening formation, because maybe it goes all the way back down here again. In this case, it didn't, but you still have a nice short trade in there for about 1%. Really, really cool stuff today. A lot of things that could have been done in the morning. And, you might be like, Alex, what does a loser look like? Well, it looks like Lucid, for example. 3-2-60, right? It also had the 30. So 2-2-30, 2, shooter, reversal, get out, right? You make 20 cents, you run, you go find something else. Or you could have tried it here and flipped it short, made a little bit more, flipped it long, made a little more. If you're sticking on Lucid today, you can see, even if you're wrong, it's okay, guys. You see 2-2 or 3-2 here. What does it do? It goes to higher highs. So once it makes that high and starts racing back the other way, that's your first hint. Hey, just get out. It didn't work. Didn't stay out of the range. But if it reverses, how much do you lose? 15 cents. Is that really that much? No, guys. You don't have to worry about these losses. What you have to worry about is where is the next trade that has continuity that's back through previous range after taking out a low or taking out a high. That's what we want to do. That being said, we're not going to have a lot we'll talk about today. If we go to MP 3 on the day, we like that. So we'll mark that out, and we're still keeping an eye on it because obviously this buyer had a lot to buy. They might come back and buy more. We look for that. NVIDIA 3 on the day, right? Broadening formation. We'll see what comes of it. If we go to RBRK, so there's another one. Oh man, I got to show you guys this one too. Look at this beauty. Lower lows, right? Where did this happen? Daily open. Where's the month open? It's still up there, right? But in order to get a winning trade, we at least need the day in 60. And in this case, the day in 60 changed the week right here, which gives you the nice winning trade. Boom, right up into the new highs. Lower low, higher high. Go to the day, lower low, higher high. And the last thing we'll cover here is just how do we know that's going to happen? Because we said that was going to happen well before it did. You see, we timed it in here this morning, but how did we know that RBRK, and forgive me, it goes over in here. How did we know RBRK was literally going to do exactly that, right? Taking this out and then go the other way. Well, the first thing is we didn't, right? No one ever actually knows unless you have simultaneous breaks, full time frame continuity, and like 90% of a sector going, we can't say for sure. But in this case, it did go continuity down, but we had this pivot, this pivot, this pivot. And then the next pivot you can see is much further away. We call that short-term exhaustion, where you run out of pivots to take out, because you take out the longs. So with a rev strat, inside bar, 2 up, 2 down reversal, notice it has continuity. At the minimum, the rev strat magnitude is 77.58, which is this low here. So we can expect, well, if that gets taken out, this is a broadening formation where these 2 bars go outside of these 2 bars. So if that occurs, and we're at the bottom of the broadening formation, what happens if the next day opens and we get a reversal, like a gap down buy today? Well, it's going to go back through the broadening formation. Duh, like that's what price does. So when we go in here, you'll see it's a gap down. Where did it gap down into? Right where we would expect it to, right here. And then you time the signal. In this case, we used the 15 today because we knew we wanted to be long this one. from our weekend video, or actually Monday night video. But you can see lower low, 2-2 reversal, 38 cents of risk. How much do you get paid? $7 nearly, or $6. Stop worrying about the losers, right? You could lose 70% of your trades as long as they look like what we are showing you. And it doesn't look like, like you're trying this lower low to do crazy stuff right in the middle of this range. It looks like big lower low, then reversal. Take 10 of those, like 10 of them. Just print this chart out. I'm trying to help everyone out here. Print this chart out. Study what this chart's showing you. Trade 10 of them that look like this. Ideally, you can just trade gap down buys. Or you search the gapper list, you can play those just like that. Happens all the time. Or, right, you can time these signals like the 60 sets up, tonight. Let's just say, for example, SPY. Just go to a 4 hour. Let's look at 4 hour SPY. It's like, okay, we have a 4 hour. So right in the morning tomorrow, what could it do? Well, big broadening formation, 4 hour hammer, right? Maybe that works. Like, you're just looking for big ranges with signals. And if you want a really clear example, just to end it off here, hammer month, where's that occurring? After lower lows. Is that a signal? Yes. Where's it going? Up there, right? Boom. If you took that, there's your whole year. Semis, lower low, hammer month, boom. Like, these are the prettiest charts we've seen, in a couple of years, like just seeing this type of action across so many sectors. Lower lows, hammer, gone, right? And just across the board, it's everywhere. XLY, IWM. You should see it repeating. It should get really boring, actually. I'm really more excited because I see everyone else winning, and it is fun at times when things are just ripping or just puking. But that being said, for tonight's vid, we're gonna have a lot of hammers across the whole market. We have a little bit of uncertainty. We had the Secretary of War or whatever call a big emergency meeting for next week. I imagine that uncertainty is gonna be more like your defense stocks potentially, which at this point, you see Lockheed Martin again. It's like, what do you look for? Lower low, inside signal. Did it reverse? No. Two. Boom, highs, and then you take profit. So it's like, guys, you just got to do it. That being said, though, maybe the defense sector, just keep an eye on it with the news and the headlines. But we'll have a lot of potential 2-2s for tomorrow. So let's just make sure we know what that looks like for tomorrow morning. So if we go in here, you can see today we had like 70% down day, but guess what? SPY almost half for green, Q's almost half for green. We still had some market leaders, specifically energies. If we go to the setups, we go 2 down, we go green. 182 setups. If we add in the hammers as well, you can do that like this. So hammer and green, we have 300 potential reversals for tomorrow morning. That's something you want to know about, huh? And we definitely want to know about that. What we can do, copy this list just like so, boom. And that's what we're gonna be watching tomorrow. Now we're gonna watch all 300, probably not. How do we filter it out? Well, we can go and just say, well, at least anything above $3 ATR, boom, now we have 80, right? And then if we wanted to, we could do average volume, we could do options, which we don't have involved here yet. But for example, average volume, let's just say over 2 million, 57. We still have a lot of names here. We can remove things that aren't in a sector. So remove blanks, they'll remove your ETFs. Now you have 46. And then you can take this list, and this list is pretty much all the names that we know about. How can we further filter this? Well, we can say, here's that new list. We can copy paste it. We can either say like, let's go and look for things setting up higher time frame signals, right? Like a 2 down and green month, 2 down and green quarter, inside month, inside quarter. Look for those to set up signals. And what does that look like? It looks like this. So we take that list, just make sure we select all. So remove our filters. We don't have to do this, but I normally do. So if we do this, then now we have 44 names. We can scan the month, be like, well, let's set up inside months. Here's all your inside months with setups. So going into next month, maybe you want to set up Palantir, right? Now, is this the best setup? Maybe it takes it out. It looks like it's not going to dash 3322. Yeah. Is this going to set up an inside week for next week? It is. And an inside month for next month. Cool. D-Dog. Yeah, we look for that. There's a lower low. And you can see, notice how this range is a lot smaller than something like the stuff we were trading today. This is why traders will struggle, because they'll look at this, but they won't realize this low and this high. Do you see how we're stuck in here? right? This range is small. Now, if you're willing to go trade a 2% range, go for it. But let me tell you this, if it's a 100% range, it has more likelihood of actually working than a 2% range, simply because of how those broadening formations get bigger over time. But you'll see ADI in there with the rev strat after slight lower lows, setting up the inside week, inside month for next month. So a lot of tech stuff. An XPI with the rev strat after slight lower lows, setting up the inside month for next month. Snow, maybe. Right, so now we can instantly look at this list. Took us how long? A couple minutes. And we can go Thursday night, set up higher time frame inside week/month signals. And you'll have Dash, D-Dog, ADI, and XPI Snow. And forgive me, I forgot which ones didn't look the best. So Snow will remove it. We want to time those lower lows ideally. It doesn't mean it can't work, but we got an XPI good, ADI good, D-Dog good, Dash good, right? Simple enough. And you can just leave it at that, right? It took me a couple minutes and we know exactly what we're looking for. This is the beauty in using the scanner, using the strat, knowing what quantitative analysis actually looks like. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Let's keep going though. So we can also go and say, well, let's go for the stuff that's, the strongest this month. And this is what we should be doing at the beginning of the month and quarter. We want to go and look at the leaders because that's where the daily signals will be most powerful. So let's just take a look here. In this case, 2 up months and leader. Who's leading? App. And that'd be a 2-2. It's a leader, so the buyer's aggressive. Notice this range is 4%, even though it doesn't look that far. That would be a fun trade for Lotto Friday, right? A 660, 665 call. What if it goes to 675, 680 on Friday? Those would probably go a couple 100%, would they not? So let's just add it to the list. And let me move this over here. All right, AVGO. That's a hammer. And you see the month still bright green, even though you look at this chart and you're like, well, that buyer's not here. What did they just do? Triangle layout. They're gone. Did they buy it? Yep. Did they sell it? Yep. Can we buy it with a pivot machine gun? Oh, yes, we can. And AVGO, right? This could move 3% on Friday. That could be a really good Lotto Friday candidate. So we're going to put a star next to it because we have the PMG, lower low. We could kick into full time frame continuity here. Semis have a 3, right? They could go 3-2. Beautiful stuff. And you can see how it's just all falling into place super quickly, super easily. BABA, if you're a China trader, I personally just stick away from those guys. FSLR, this is from our weekend vid, lower low, hammer 60, boom. Slight lower low, triangle out, and then boom. You can see how that slight lower low, you got like a 15, 10 minute. Let's see, lows, lower low, reversal, up they go. But FSLR could be a good one. Because we have the 3-2 week, we have the bright green month, bright green quarter. We are getting to the end of the quarter, so I'm just gonna be aware of that. But a lot of things look similar. RMBS, oh yeah, look at that. Triangle out. Notice the 3, the higher high, slight lower lows is what we call this because it wasn't a swing low. Slight lower lows. And could that go up 7% tomorrow? Damn right. I believe that's also in the semis. Something I want to add to the scanner is where we can just go in here and be like, well, I don't know what RMBS does. Maybe right click it or something, or click on it, pulls up the chart, and at the bottom, it'll tell you what they do, how they make their money, maybe show you some earnings and stuff. That's a plan we have in the future, but for now, you just got to use Perplexity, which makes it really easy. You can see some back testing stuff we've been doing. It's 136% gain on the account. Beautiful stuff. But RMBS, what sector? I always talk to these bots like I'm like an Asian immigrant. No shame in that. Mortgage back secure. Or oops. Let's see. Uh-oh. I think I left this open too long. Forgive me. Wow, something it's doing. Securitized debt sector. Maybe not, right? I don't think that's what it stands for. I think I know it's tech, so it's definitely not insecure or mortgages, but A-Lab. So you can see it is green on the month. It's setting up a shooter month though. Now from weekly magnitude, maybe it recovers, but see. KTOS. Wow. Look at this inside year signal. We love that. Once we have the investment hedge fund set up with these yearly signals, you guys are going to have your minds freaking blown. Look at the 3-2 on BE this year. Is that what a 3-2 does? Oh, yeah. BE. I know a few people in the Discord are watching that, so we will put it on the list. And shameless plug, check us out, stratalerts.ai. If you're new, you can go get into our free side of the Discord for free. We also send you educational stuff for free. We have a lot of educational stuff in the Discord for free. And obviously we have all of our paid stuff, which I believe is worth the money if you know how to trade a triangle layout. AXP, meh. So the uraniums, you'll see this. So URA, what did this do this morning? It went to 260, right? But then they triangled layout. See lower lows on the 30. All right, back up. So we'll see tomorrow for the 322. CCJ will be in there. Which you can see on the 2260 is a little stronger, staying outside of the morning range. SMR, not so much. OKLO, AB. Question mark. HOND. There's a new one we're adding to the list. It's a merger that's going on. I saw Zip Trader talking about it, and I love him for just doing the stuff outside of the charts. It's not really my forte. It'd be really cool if we could work with them in some way, but it is going to be a merger with this, like one of the second biggest uranium or you're not uranium, but gosh, my brain, it's late. The uranium power plant, nuclear power plant manufacturer, and they make them very fast, and they're supposed to be merging here, or the SPAC's buying them out. Going to be really, really good stock, at least as according to the fundamentals. So I really want to keep that one on the radar, make sure we don't forget about her. ANET, inside week still. Yeah. Carvana. Take last week's lows. Nice 60 in there, Carvana. Uber. Nah. MongoDB. Nah. And you can see we're going through and we're like inside week. A lot of these are inside weeks. If we don't like that, we can just copy the list again, go to the weekly, and just select 2 up or 2 down and make sure all the ones are gone. So now we don't have any inside weeks. Beautiful. You can see on the scanner and just switch time frame to the week and then made sure to deselect the one. So we're not trading inside weeks. This is all cool stuff you can do with the scanner. I do like PanW. We're going to have a lot of things on the list tonight. Don't let that scare you. Right? You can pick a sector. You just trade semis tomorrow, you probably do fine. Pick your top favorites, names you know. It's not that serious. Right? Just make sure you're trading something. We'll have the SPY and the Qs, Hammer Day, Dow Jones maybe, right? And these are dojis. And the market does not have to recover. These weeks are still a little bit red, but it's a little bit closer. US 500, you can see still 2 weeks to make higher highs. So higher highs in here, slight higher highs. If you like a 2-hour chart, you can see what I mean. Higher highs here, boom, killed lower highs, lower lows, lower lows. So at this point, there's still been 2 weeks to do that, which does hint like might be too hard to get this thing to recover. At least we have this pivot target if they don't take it out overnight, but we will see tomorrow. And that is that. I don't got really much else to talk about. Normally Friday is my short day or off day, so we'll leave it at that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. Again, check us out, stratalerts.ai. I'll see you guys in the next.